no such thing as a millionaire in my town,
Yeah.
but I was always instilled with something. I don't know if it was genetics or ever since I was a kid. Like I was always really bad. I got kicked out of preschool when I was little. I was always questioning why this, why that. I think actually when I was in like first grade, I was technically autistic by the school standards. They thought I was retarded, so they used to send me with these kids, like the retarded kids, and I was like,
they sent you with the retarded kids.
I literally was with them for like 6 months, and then they made me take an IQ test, and they started like testing me a little bit more. I don't know why they didn't do this in the first place. And then I remember my mom telling me this story, like when I was older in high school, she was like, yeah, like I got a call from the school and they said that you weren't retarded. And I was like, thank God. Like,
like, yo, you didn't know I wasn't, like, how could you just
this was for like 6 months in first grade, but it's because I think my parents told me I don't remember this, but I think I used to fail tests on purpose. Like I was just a little kid. Like,
yeah,
I was always getting in trouble. They said I had ADHD. They tried to medicate me. Luckily, my parents didn't allow it. But I was just super rambunctious, super bad, couldn't pay attention, sometimes would act stupid. I don't know if it was because I was just trying to be annoying or I just didn't understand things at the time. But I was always instilled with thinking differently. You know, all the times in class, like even I remember learning cursive in second grade. I was like, well, why are we learning cursive? Because I remember asking my sister, in middle school, do we have to write in cursive? And she's like, no. And I was like, so why are we learning? I kept always asking the questions. And the kids that were like, bro, stop, or it's not that big of a deal. Like, why you keep asking or stop being bad, are the kids that they're just sheep. They don't think for themselves. You have to develop that internal voice, because the reality is I'd say most of the world, I know they say the average IQ is over 100, but I'd say most of the world has a very, very low IQ. And you're like a blank canvas when you're born. So everything from the age of 0 onwards is programmed in your mind. So if you're learning from all these idiots, you're going to be an idiot. So you have to be able to resist and take.
You know, that's something that even worries me. Like nowadays, like with social media being so present, like, you know, sometimes you see people arguing about the dumbest things online. And like, I've realized there's more retards in the world than there are smart people in the world, genuinely. But sometimes it worries me. I'm like, if you can't convince the retards, you're just going to be, you know, like you're going to be.
The thing is, you can be stupid and still be successful, but it's just certain poison into people's minds. And it's all mindset at the end of the day. Like people all over social media are just, yeah, you're right. They're just arguing about the stupidest stuff. And a lot of people will say things on social media. Like they'll see someone, they'll be like, oh, I should follow this guy. He's wealthy, or he does this. But a lot of these influencers or whatever, they don't care. They're saying stuff to get views at the end of the day. So a lot of stuff they're saying is just wrong. I see a lot of money advice out there. I see a lot of people that are considered successful, like older rich guys that say advice about something. I'm just like, just completely wrong. We're in a new day and age, but they're just saying things so they can rub people's head and allow them to think like, yeah, that's nice. I could just go to the sauna and I could just sit back and watch the sun over the buildings over there and sit on the beach. And a lot of people have this idea that they just want to make money and then retire and sit on the beach. Like that's what a lot of people teach out there, is just make this money, invest in your 401k, do this. And I don't want to sound cliche because everyone's like, oh, that's bullshit, don't do that. Now everyone's figured that out. But even the money advice they give now, it's just all like,
it's like even most, like, I guess for a period of time, all these like trading videos or like, you know, these advertisements, like you want to sit on the beach with your laptop making 50K a day and all you have to do is press one button that copies my trades, or just like complete bullshit advice to make that.
It's marketing, but you have to be smart enough to decipher marketing. For every video I watch on social media, I'm like, okay, this person's either smart or he's saying this for this reason, or I'm like not watching it like mindlessly being like scrolling. Like and TikTok is the most dangerous, because sometimes I'm like scrolling on TikTok just for work or something, just to find something, and then I'm like, and then something comes up and then I'm watching like a cat on a table and I'm like back to work. Like it's so a lot of people just watch mindlessly. You have to like really, I'd say it's just critical thinking at the end of the day. Like I said, ever since you were a kid, you were programmed to think in a certain way, like from the bed you sleep in, to the movies you watch, to the news that you consume, to the music that you listen to. Even the littlest thing, like people call me crazy, or I have a few ideas about just I'll give you a few examples of just little things that you would never think of that I think is just programming people's minds and they need to stop. Like listening to music. I think it's like a CIA operative to infect people's mind. Just think about it. You're listening to someone rap about sex, drugs, all this different stuff. Like, what do you think's going to really happen if you really listen to the words? Who runs the music industry? The same people that run the news outlets, the same people that run this. Same with movies. Have you ever actually watched a movie and sat down and been like, okay, that scene was interesting. Why that? Who runs Hollywood? Who runs all this stuff? It's all just to implant a certain way of thinking into people's brains. Like even the Rockefellers, I don't want to get all conspiracy crazy stuff. They designed the school systems just to keep people smart enough to work. I'm sure you've heard that a few times where, oh yeah, the school is designed to keep workers, but it really is. They don't want people to actually think for yourself. So when I'm in second grade, like, why are we learning cursive? I'm like the only one saying that. Everyone's like, you're being crazy. You're not being crazy. You have to question everything because since birth, just everything's bullshit.
Yeah, but I feel like it's more and more people are realizing, but also I'm saying that I think like back in the day, ancient Rome, I think even to control society, they had the I guess those like fights or whatever they used to do just to entertain people enough where they wouldn't try and like take over the government. Yeah. So basically they'd provide free entertainment for people just so they don't question who's running it. Just, you know, so same with music and stuff. They're just giving you entertainment, keeping sporting you happy, events. Sporting events.
Let me just wear some guy's last name on my back. That's not weird or anything. Let me just promote his legacy. Like I have issues with all this stuff. I don't like movies. I don't like music. I don't like sporting events. I don't see a point of it, but it's kind of hard to, once you kind of take that red pill, like you feel like a crazy person sometimes because everyone else is like, bro, just listen to the Cardi B. It's fine.
Here's a conspiracy theory I have. And I'm really happy that you're talking about everything like a bigger picture, right? Because you're into crypto, right?
Yeah.
So I was huge into crypto as well. Like, Bitcoin, you know? I like, till now, I'm always like, oh, Bitcoin. But here's my theory. All right? You tell me if you think I'm wrong. Because, you know, when crypto came out, everyone's like, oh, yeah, this is the savior. We're going to be free. I think it's the opposite.
Yeah, I've heard this a few times, and
I think we got sold the dream by the governments. It's like, I feel like, look, like theoretically, obviously, I'm being a conspiracy theory right now. Government's always trying to control you. You saw Corona. I don't want to talk about it. Whoa, you know. But the next step is, in my opinion, money. What's the only way people are kind of free? Because you can go around with cash and spend it, and they don't really have control on it, right? And I guess they tried credit cards, but obviously that's still cash in a credit card that you can still take out. But if all our money gets put into cryptos, and right now I think, and here's the thing, all right, I'm trying to work with the matrix right now. Like, I'm trying to think how they think, and I'm going with it because I still want to win.
Yeah, don't go against the grain.
Don't go against them. Like, win with them, you know, like. Yeah. Figure out.
They don't want you to win, but there is room for you to come in and
you know, like I always say this. You know how people are like, "Oh, break the matrix, break the box." No, let me try and at least fill up the box, at least to get as high up as I can before I think about exiting. Like, you need to climb the ladder before you think how to get out. You know. So my theory with the whole crypto, and you tell me if you agree. I feel like they want Bitcoin to go up. They want Ethereum. They want these things to do well, and then at one point they're just gonna say, "Hey, we have our own USD coins and we're going to ban Ethereum or just make it do really bad." And, you know, people are going to have their money in crypto and they'll just shift it to like US dollar coin, like the official government coin. And then all your money's in crypto. You can never take it out. It's always governed. They always see what's happening. And that's like ultimate control.
So here's how I see the future. And you're right. It could have been a government agency created Bitcoin. I mean, it started after the 2008 financial crisis. So maybe there was actually someone trying to do good. Be like, we need a decentralized monetary system.
And they just took over.
Or it could have been Putin, like some people say, or it could have been some government, whatever.
No, I don't mean Bitcoin necessarily as in Bitcoin itself. I just mean, I think maybe, yes, someone that actually wanted to beat the system made it. But obviously, the governments are not stupid. They see that and they take control of it. Like,
well, here's the beauty of Bitcoin. It was beautifully constructed that no single person got to really take a high stake position. So right now, if the government wants to try to take control of Bitcoin, they're just going to be upping the price and giving everyone else even more money. So they've definitely, that's why I think Bitcoin, like back in the day, I was thinking we could have seen under 10K Bitcoin like a few months ago, guys. I was like, these governments want control over these currencies. They're going to want to take Bitcoin to a certain level that then they can create a big stake in. So we could still see that. Who knows? You have to think, like, if these governments don't have control over, that's why we saw 68K Bitcoin in the last bull run, because all the hedge funds, sovereign funds, the governments, they FOMO'd in. They were like, damn, we can't let this, we need control. So they just FOMO'd in and then they basically nuked the markets. But I think Bitcoin is the last savior. I think Bitcoin is beautifully constructed in a way. It's proof of work. So it's not proof of stake like Ethereum now changed it. So proof of work consensus mechanism. Like, if you own your coins, you own your coins. No one can pledge Bitcoins to the network and control it. They've already tried to create a new Bitcoin, whatever it is, and it's just hard forks. You can't mess with the networks. There's already been improvements. There's already been bugs already debugged, whatever it is. Now, Ethereum, on the other hand, is now proof of stake. So whoever pledges the most ETH coins to the network controls it. And why do you think the World Economic Forum is always pushing Ethereum? And what about all these other coins, Chainlink, all these random coins? They're all just scam Ponzi's at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, in the future, we will have the Swiss franc, Chinese yuan, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and a central bank digital currency.
Yeah.
The people that will be free are the people that are going to be able to get into things like Bitcoin. Maybe you have some of your money all over the place, but it doesn't matter what currency they decide to create. Like I'm going to have.
No, and I agree with what you say. Like that's what I think. I do think Bitcoin's going to do well. I think that's one of the only ones that'll do well. But I think the government
stood the test of time.
Yeah, but I think the governments want it to do well because of these other. They want their, like you said, the central bank coin, whatever it's going to be, or the China. So I think for them, this does well. Great. Everyone has their money in crypto. And great, Bitcoin does well, but we'll force them to like try and put a bit of their money into our coins.
They know they can't really stop it at this point because they've tried to. They banned Bitcoin mining in China. I think they banned Bitcoin outright in Nigeria, and all that happened was it traded at a higher price.
Yeah.
Like a few months ago, Bitcoin was going for like 50 or 60K in Nigeria because you can't get it there, so people are paying a premium. So they could try to ban it, and they just know that all it will do is make it more valuable.
Yeah.